thought about this video many times, but it wasn't until I saw a comment in one of the videos. I don't even know where the comment is anymore. I would post it up. Someone said that you don't need another sampler. Like, why are you getting all these samplers? Just stick to one and that's all you need. Just learn it. You won't ever need another sampler. It actually is a great topic for a video, so I decided to go ahead and make a video about it. I'll tell you why I did that, why I jumped from sampler to sampler all throughout the year, and why I have the X right now. So before all this madness happened about the COVID and stuff, I really wanted just to do a year where I would just get as many samplers as I could, try them out on the channel, make beats with these samplers. I wanted to get away from the MPC for a while. I wanted to show people that watch my channel that you can make beats on any machine. I've been working with the MPC for over 20 years now, and I kind of needed a break from it. I have the channel as well, and that's a big reason for me to connect to the audience, connect to new audience, show them my music through other machines as well. I changed the name of the channel. I set on my way to start working with other samplers. I work with the SP404, the Akai Force, Analog Rhythm, MPC Touch, the MPC XL as well. Now working with the X, and I had the MPC 500 as well to work with. I'll walk you through the whole process, and I'll let you know as well why I think it actually is important to try other samplers. RZA from the Wu-Tang Clan, he actually once said that he wants to get new gear every time he starts a new project. I found that a bit weird when he said that at the time, because I also believe that you really only need one sampler, because you cut samples, you sequence the samples, and that's it. How many samplers do you really need? But I actually agree with him right now. After working with all these samplers, I understand the reason behind his comment. Having new gear, it puts you into a different mindset. You look at cutting in a different way. You look at sequencing in a different way. Right at the beginning of the year, I decided to change the name of the channel, and I started by getting the Akai Force. I didn't know what machine to start with, but having an MPC with a different sequencer was really something that I wanted to try. The built-in synth, the Hype synth, is amazing. The Force for me is still an MPC. It's the same brains inside of the machine, just the sequencer is different. It's like you have a song mode in the pads, and that to me was just amazing to work with. I really loved the machine. The way I would structure a beat was so much better than the MPC Touch that I was working with. It was an amazing experience working with it. But I saw this ad of an MPC XL selling on the market, and I thought, I'm gonna get it because I've wanted this for a long time. It's the machine that I started with. And at first I thought, I'm just gonna get it, make a couple of videos with it, make some beats, have some fun. A bit because of nostalgia. Never thought that I would be hooked on it. After I got it, after it came into the studio, it completely took over the studio. That was the machine that I wanted to work with all the time. And the Akai Force kind of stood aside because I just wanted to work with the XL. The thing about the XL is that it doesn't have all the audio tracks, the synths, all this new updates that you have on the MPC Touch, and that was a huge relief for me not having that. Having just a very simple workflow. You sample, you cut, you sequence. That's the beauty of working with machines like that. They're very simple. So with the MPC Touch, I would sample anything. I wouldn't really care too much what I was sampling. If I heard something that I liked, I would get it. and that was it. Because I had so much space, I would just sample anything and then try different combinations with the pads and just go from there. But with the XL, I would listen very carefully to know if that was the chop that I wanted to work with before I would sample it inside of the XL. You know, I was coming down from this high that's working with an MPC, one of the new ones that has almost no boundaries whatsoever. You sample as much as you want. Saying that the limitations provide me with creativity, it's so much cliche nowadays, but I actually needed that very, very much, more than I knew actually. After I got into the XL, I actually started to understand more and more what type of chops I wanted. Not the ones that is just like you cut because you can, but the ones that really move, the ones that really mean something to the instrumental. Working with the XL actually gave me a deeper understanding into my music, the type of samples that I really, really want. So working with the MPC, comparing it with the Elektron, when you're working with samples, you sample something, you chop it, and you drop it on a pad. And then when you go sequence the samples, you find a place to drop the sample. Elektron workflow, it's kind of backwards in that sense. You find the place first and then you find the chop. Because of the lack of voices and because of the complexity of parameter locking, it's like the Elektron is meant for that. It's meant for you to drop a step in the sequencer and then choose what part of the sample you want that to start on. You know, I never thought about, oh, I want to play something in this step, now let me find the sample for the step. Like that thing never occurred to me. So the person that said that you just have to learn your machine, I disagree with that, because I would have never thought about doing it the way that Elektron products do it. It's a complete different way of working. I've been working with this for 20 years. I never thought about that. That was it. That was 2020. I just went from sampler to sampler to sampler. I spent most of the year working with the XL, but I set it aside for now, and I'm focusing on the X. So this is the new machine in the studio. I got this one because I really needed an MPC. My touch was not working properly anymore. Just the buttons wouldn't work. It was lagging a lot of the times. It would just freeze. So I was gonna go for the Live, actually the new one, the Live 2. But then I got a call from Akai, and Akai said they wanted to give me a discount. I said, great, if you want to give me a discount, I think I'm going to get the X. I come from the Renaissance. Before I had the MPC Touch, I was working with the Renaissance, and I just really liked the 16 Q-Links, all of the dedicated buttons, the extra inputs. They allow me to connect all my machines to the MPC. So all of that, and with the discount, I was like, yeah, probably, I think I'm going to go for the X. And that's it. That's basically the reason why. I mean, I just really needed an MPC, and for a hair, I didn't go with the Elektron because it doesn't have that capability of chopping samples, and it doesn't have more than 8 voices. I am definitely someone that says go for it, get new samplers, try out new samplers. I'm with the RZA on this one. I think you should get new samplers for new projects. You don't need to have a bunch of samplers in the house, but if you can, you know, swap samplers around, or maybe get a friend to lend you one for you to make a beat tape, it's great because you end up learning new things about your music and about ways of sequencing and sampling. I think it's very valuable to your production. I still want to work with other samplers in the future. I want to work with the S2400, want to work with the Octatrack. I've been wanting to work with the Octatrack for a very long time. It's probably not going to be the machine that stays in the studio for a long time, but out of curiosity, I want to work with it. But yeah, I'll say this, I'm definitely hooked on the MPC. I am an MPC head. And it's not because Akai gave me a special discount on this. It's just because, yeah, I keep coming back to it because it's where I feel at home. And it's a machine that has everything. Sometimes it's not the best thing to have everything inside of a machine. And that's one of the things that I really liked about the Electron. It was dedicated to one thing only. I think I'll make a video on that. Reasons why Akai is changing completely into a different machine. Is that good or is that a bad thing? If you want me to make a video on that, just put it down in the comments. You know, I wouldn't mind working with a machine as well. Maybe I'll work with a machine for a few days, see how I like it, tell you about my experience. I think that's the great thing about working with different samplers here on the channel, is to let you know what I think and if it's a great sampler or not. So yeah, that was it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Peace.